Loretta Lynn's Ranch. Within these walls lie the stories of one of country music's greatest ambassadors. From these hills resonate centuries of time-honored tradition and the slackened pace of the gentrified South. These buildings serve as monuments to a time gone by, but the soil holds an even greater secret. Over 200 years after the roar of Civil War battles subsided, a new battle converged in the west central hills of Tennessee. With a coal miner's daughter as its namesake, the first annual Loretta Lynn's Amateur National Motocross Championship was born. For 31 years running, the crusade to Loretta Lynn's has challenged the world's fastest amateur motocross racers. To race here is a test of mental fortitude and endurance. Getting to the top is a test of the human spirit. Atop the podium, victory balances the equation. It justifies the work, the pain, the suffering. It's a personal milestone, a family's accomplishment, and a nation's pride. Few events carry such monumental gravity as Loretta Lynn's. It's the launchpad of a pro career, as well as the foundation of sweet childhood memories. These gates welcome in the next generation of racer, just as they usher out the graduating class to the professional ranks. At the core of amateur motocross, there is no greater contest than Loretta Lynn's. And for the 31st consecutive year, thousands of racing families flock here to see if they have what it takes to be named champion.
This is the proving grounds. This is where it all begins for many riders, and this is where they graduate and step on to the professional ranks.
You know, when I think of Loretta Lynn's Amateur National, it's the mecca of amateur nationals. It's the biggest amateur national in the world, bar none. I mean, without a doubt.
To win here at Loretta's really means everything. Like I said, it's the best feeling in the world if you're going through that finish line first place.
This week is really brutal just because it's kind of different than what we do all year. It's hot, it's a different vibe, a different atmosphere. There's a lot of the industry here that makes it tough when you have a lot of guys watching you that don't watch you all year. You want to do good in front of them, but it's just a different schedule. It's more organized. It's more like a pro national than an amateur national. So I think that's what kind of throws most of us off.
You know, it's a great place as an amateur to showcase your talent.
And to look back at the names that have graduated from this University of Loretta Lynn's, LLU, if you will, these kids have done some great things. And what's interesting, it's not all motocross. You know, these kids, we know the Ricky Carmichaels and the Jeremy McGraths and the Ryan Dungeys and the Mike Kudrowskis and those kids and Steve Lampson and those kids. But there's a lot of success stories. We have doctors and lawyers and brain surgeons and people that went on to do really big things. And we like to think that we're part of the fabric of their life.
Because I want to go down to Loretta Lynn's and compete, and just to make it to Loretta Lynn's, you're already one of the top 40. And when you go down there, whether you finish first or 40th, you're still one of the best in the country in the class that you're racing.
My son and I have this conversation regularly, and the peaks and valleys of this sport are almost addictive. You work so hard as a family. It's such a team effort. It's a financial effort. It's a physical effort.
When I hurt my shoulder before I came here, it takes a lot to get healthy. I mean, a lot of the times you race in these races, you're not even healthy 100%. And it's just, you want to race so bad that you push yourself to get to these races.
You work really hard and it pays off. You work really hard and it doesn't pay off. But when it does pay off, that feeling is such an overwhelming, natural, amazing adrenaline rush for your child, you know. And as a parent, watching your son achieve something like that makes you want to go to the next step, you know. They're doing it on their own. They're a single person out there in a single person sport, and so to accomplish those accomplishments is a huge deal, you know. So you just want to move to the next step to, you know, support them in that.
It's pretty insane. We come out to these races, we carpool with different people because we can't even get up here on our own. Everything I can for my bikes, all the help I can get from people, everything counts. She's the only person that is with me in the sport. None of my other family members are really into this sport because they realize how dangerous it is and stuff, but she realized how much I love it, so she's with me through it all.
This is my first time at Loretta Lynn's, and my favorite part is swimming in the creek. My name's Jay Yoder, and we're from Marietta, California. I'm Hunter Yoder's dad, and we're here at Loretta Lynn's for the first time. Honestly, when Hunter first started riding, I didn't even know that kids raced motocross. Naturally, he started doing well on the bike, and people started inviting us out to do races and stuff, and it slowly progressed into him doing better and better, and now we're at the biggest amateur race in the country for the whole year, so yeah, I had no idea.
Riding a motorcycle comes with a lot of inherent risk, but as most racing parents will agree, the benefits far outweigh the risk.
Oh, I think they learn a lot of different stuff. I think at a young age, their motor skills develop because they're going so fast on a bike that they, their brain naturally starts reacting faster to things. So I think if you start a kid on a bike real young, the whole learning curve changes for that kind of a kid compared to a kid that maybe just goes out and hits a baseball or something. Oh, you make a lot of friends. Pretty much everybody you meet, you make friends with because they can all relate. And they all have a lot of respect for each other because they all go through it. You know, it's really hard, like I said, working on the bikes. You know, there's nights I work on the bikes till 12, 1, 2 in the morning sometimes and get up and go to work at 5 or 6 the next day. And I'm not the only one. Every dad or mom that's here, grandparents, uncles, they're all, every racer here has somebody behind them doing that.
There are few sports that rely so heavily on the bond between parent and child. Few know that better than Matt Bisceglia. Born into a racing family, both of his parents are longtime veterans of the sport. At age 16, he's already amassed countless moto wins and is one of the most recognized amateur athletes in the sport.
Winning here definitely can help you progress your career. You know, like last year, I won a class and Ziggy over at Factory Connection gave me a chance on his race team. Best bikes you can get on. Good teams can pick you up from here. All the sponsors and all the factories are looking at this race, so you do get here. It can pretty much set up your career if you play your cards right.
Gage Linville is no stranger to racing. While Hunter Yoder is new to the 50cc 7 to 8 class, some of his competitors like Gage have already been here twice. Every class has a standout rider with the target on their back. For Hunter, Gage Linville sets the bar. At 8 years old, he's already signing endorsement deals to secure his talent in the future.
So far, so good. That number 14, big lead here early in 258.
At the cusp of his professional debut was Zach Bell. Loretta Lynn's marked his last week as an amateur racer before joining his teammates on the Geico Honda team in the pro ranks. The very next weekend, Zach was competing as a professional in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship at one of the most difficult courses on the circuit.
I've been training my whole life to get this position, and I'm finally here, and you know, you just got to put your head down and look at that starting gate and be like, let's just go. You know, after you win a lot of championships, it's still exciting, but you know, you're just ready to get into the pro ranks and just see what that feeling's like.
Good morning and welcome out here to this Saturday and final day of racing at Loretta Lynn's.
We've had mostly bad Lorettas. Even the year we came here and won, we were still injured with my wrist. It's like every year we come here, we get hurt, you know, because it's so much pressure on the kids that they want to go out there and they just want to do the best, and they end up crashing. The week didn't start off too good. It was a kind of bad moto. The next moto I came out and got second. That was a great moto. I was feeling pumped up, and the next day I went out and crashed and hurt my groin and everything.
His injury, he can't hold on to the bike. What are you going to do?
But he's asking you, though, how you felt when he went down. How did you feel?
I didn't see it already.
We were worried.
Yeah, we didn't see him come around. Yeah. I didn't know where he was.
Yeah,
that's what I'm more concerned about.
After that, it was kind of stressful from there on, and we just tried to push through it and try to hold on.
I'm really happy. Ronnie,
I don't like him going backwards.
Yeah, he didn't like that he was in second.
I know he's going backwards because he can't hold on, but I don't like him going backwards.
He just doesn't think it looks good and stuff, well, you know, and he goes from second to fourth, but when you're injured and you're trying to do everything you can, he held it together, and we took a third overall. I'll take it. I'm so happy.
Yeah, that's good. The end result's good.
Yeah, for sure. They got to be strict at some points, you know, and they can be nice at times, but they're awesome, dude. I wouldn't be here without them, and my parents say as long as you're trying 110%, we don't care if you get 10. You did good.
There have been few figures in motocross as influential as Ricky Carmichael. His amateur career started here and formed the foundation for the most successful professional career in the history of American motocross. Now 5 years retired, Ricky returned to Loretta Lynn's to rejoin the grassroots, racing for the love of the sport. Following in his footsteps is 15-year-old Adam Cianciarillo. From humble roots, he has already amassed 9 championships. With 2 potential championships on the line, a win in both would make him the most winning mini racer of all time, surpassing Ricky Carmichael's record. Already tied to a contract with Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, his path to success is already laid before him. The first time you win at Loretta Lynn's is an unforgettable experience. Most are reduced to tears and tongue-tied podium speeches as they struggle for words to summarize what they've just accomplished. That moment will be crystallized forever for Anthony Rodriguez. Separated from his family, he lives at a training facility in Georgia in order to see his dream of racing professionally through to the finish. A championship would be a first for Venezuela and an incredible victory for the Rodriguez family.
It's just really great for me to be here, being the first Venezuelan to win Loretta Lynn's, and my dream's coming true.
Rider Defrancesco was the youngest rider to ever win a Loretta Lynn's title. At 6, he's the youngest to defend the #1 plate against 40 of the fastest 4 to 6-year-old riders in the country. Just as Ryder begins his amateur career, he now has 2 championships under his belt before most kids learn how to swing a baseball bat.
Last lap, I think they said he was 17 or 20 seconds out in front. There's a lot of pressure on a little guy wearing that #1 plate, and I'm really proud of him.
For most families, Loretta Lynn's is also the summer vacation. An odd choice considering the pressure these athletes are under, but it's the experience that makes it memorable. The creek is a haven from the scorching hot temperatures of the Tennessee summer, and it's where friends meet after an exhausting moto.
My son Stone Ether just got recently diagnosed with lymphoma cancer. We're out here trying to support everybody just like they're out here trying to support us.
What made us even go to the doctor was when I crashed, I had a black eye. I think we were just gonna let it sit and probably not even go to the doctor, but then I kind of started feeling nauseous and I puked a couple times and I was coughing up blood and stuff like that. Went and got a CAT scan done because I guess that's what they do whenever you come in for trauma. And on the CAT scan, they found a mass in my chest and said it was cancer.
It was a rough ordeal, you know. I mean, I've never even been around somebody with cancer. And find out that your son, 16 years old, has cancer and just tears you up inside, you know. You work all your life to try to make everything good for them and bring them up the right way and stuff, and something like that happens, you know.
I definitely appreciate everyone that's came out of where they're from and done what they did. A lot of people that, things that I'll find out new things every day that people are trying to help me and I didn't even know about them. Things like people are selling bracelets and shirts and stickers and everything. It's amazing what they can do.
Bouncing back from a groin injury early in the week, the Perthers continued to press on. Despite the pain, Luke continued to deliver impressive results and looked to only get faster as the motos counted down. Throughout the week, his efforts were noticed by more than a few influential figures attending the race that week.
Ricky, you've been out here all week kind of scoping out the racing out here, and you've been on the hunt for someone that displayed sportsmanship above and beyond the call out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, we've been looking real closely at the racetrack this week as well as last week, really trying to find an outstanding candidate who really displays, you know, sportsmanship. This sport is obviously very competitive. We all want to win, but at the same time, it's important to remember the positives if you do have a bad day. And, you know, so this is the second annual that the Brett Downey Safety Foundation has done this, so we're going to go ahead and award Luke Perther.
Well, Ricky, tell me what happened out there that caught your eye about Luke.
Yeah, you know, it started out last week, you know, kind of luck necessarily wasn't really on his side, but still after every moto, really extremely positive. You didn't see him throwing his gear down, didn't tossing his bike to his dad, none of those types of things. And those are just small things. And then as well as this week, you know, when he was, you know, finishing third and stuff like that, still staying positive, making sure he's, you know, thanking the track crew and just little things like that. The attention to detail is really what we want to help promote. And, you know, Luke's a great kid, and so it's important that we want to go ahead and just show everyone else his sportsmanship.
Yeah, for sure. I always try to be nice, you know. Even if you have a bad moto, it's always to be good to go out there and thank the other kids that did better, you know. And I just try to be nice on the track also. And yeah, I'm so pumped I'm getting this, dude. I never saw it coming. And this just influences me more to be more safe out there and be careful.
Our organization never takes a backward step. We're always stepping forward, and this is a big deal. We know that the investment that these families and these race teams have put into it, the significance for them, and we have to live up to their expectations. And we take it very seriously as a team at MX Sports. We communicate throughout of our industry to find out, what is our next steps? Where do we go from here? And those blueprints are already being drafted.
When I think about 1996 and I look back, I look back and then I see it now, it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if there's that. I mean, for sure there's more people, but you look at the sport as a whole. I mean, all these rigs, outside sponsors coming in, and just so many people. All the parking lots are full. It was never like that in 1996, my last year when I was here. And I think it's good. I think it shows that the sport is extremely healthy.
When I see families together and we see the emotion that comes out of these families, and they lay it all on the line, and it's really gratifying for me. I've said this for 30 years, the wow factor. When they leave the gates of Loretta Lynn's, here on middle of August, when they pull out of Loretta Lynn's, they say, wow, what just happened? It's hard to tell that we've been here for 7 days. But it's really gratifying to see a young man or young woman achieve their goals. It's gratifying to see families sticking together, and it all happens right here. The friendships that are made, the ties that are made to one another, whether we're from California or Florida or New Mexico or West Virginia, those ties are life, they're forever. And that's pretty great.
Yeah, it was bigger than I expected. It was huge, and all the kids are talented. Like, the slowest kid out there was still a really good kid. I mean, obviously to make it here, you have to be really good, so.
There's not that many big races back in California, but this is one of the biggest races in the world, and I'm lucky to make it here. I think I learned a lot. Like, it's way different than in California, and everything's different. It's hotter, dirt's different. You just gotta learn a lot.
The dirt, I don't even know how to explain it with the mulch and the sand mixed in there. It's almost like some sort of like a Nickelodeon foam or something. If you squish it, it like springs back. It's like the dirt's alive or something. Trying not to stress him out, because inside here I'm real stressed out, but I didn't want the negative energy to fall on him, so. Just the time we get to spend together and, hang out and try to make a family trip out of, like I said, a couple weeks in a motorhome and seeing the whole country. And it's really his first time out of the state of California. He's been to Arizona, but,
Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada, but that's all kind of the same. So he got to experience some different scenery, different states, different everything.
I got a terrible start and didn't end up doing anywhere near how good I thought I would do. I really realized how gnarly this race is and how much it takes to be the top guy. Come all the way out to Tennessee from however far away you live just for three races that ends up being an hour total, and it's just passion. I mean, I love the sport. That's all it is.
We definitely have a different sort of relationship because of the sport. I mean, I've been a single mom for a long time, so we always have had that bond, but having to, as a female, figure out how to make it happen for him is different for sure. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes as far as fighting, getting him on the best equipment and keeping up with it. And so, we bicker a lot. We're kind of, it's a marriage in a sense, which, is frustrating sometimes because he has to put me in my place sometimes, and it's okay to do that, But it has made us so strong as a team unit, and we'll remember, I'll cherish that forever with him. He'll know that I went to great lengths for him, and vice versa, he let me be there for him, so I wouldn't trade it in for anything. when you watch your child structure their lives solely around that sport, you can't help but support them in their passion. It just draws you in to see that vision that they have for themselves, you know? I mean, I think most of us don't even know what our passion is at a later age in life, and to watch a child know what they want to do and have that focus is amazing.
For 31 years, motocross athletes have entered this gate to put their abilities to the test. The efforts to get here are extraordinary, but the honor to compete at Loretta Lynn's offsets the immense sacrifice it takes to race among the best. This sacred turf will continue to deal tough love to those that race upon her, but for those that prevail, their future is in the palm of their hands. Thanks to Loretta and Mooney Lynn some 31 years ago, the future stars of motocross will continue to burn bright at Loretta Lynn's.